So your name is Jason. What's
Rodney.
okay? I'm here with Jason Rodney, and Jason is with the Climate Generation, or is it Generation Climate? Which way?
Climate generation. That's right.
Generation. And so, yeah, we'd like to hear a little bit about what that is and what you do, and then we'll figure out how we might be able to collaborate.
Nice. Great. Well, yeah, so Climate Generation is a nonprofit based in Minneapolis. And we have lots of different aspects to our work. And my work is I'm a youth organizer, so I work with teenagers in Minnesota who want to engage in the climate movement. And um, yeah, it's a really real joy in my work. But our mission at Climate Generation is supporting individuals and communities to engage in solutions to climate change. Our work is broader than just with youth. We also work with educators. We have curriculum and a training institute for teachers who want to incorporate climate solutions into their teaching. And we do a lot of story-based organizing also, just with broader communities. So we have trainings for businesses and organizations and neighbors to learn about how they tell their climate story and use that as a jumping off point to lead their communities into action.
Well, that is so beautiful to hear you doing what I've been imagining. Exactly what you're doing is what I've been trying to make happen, force to happen, and without success. But like I say, it's suddenly taking on an energy and opening up. So many doors are just opening up day by day by day by day. And so to have you come in at this moment with this program and your experience and the connections that we can potentially make between Florida and Minnesota is just a real thrill for me. So,
Beautiful, yeah.
yeah.
And what is your story, Sue?
Well, my story is that I am a grandmother of 8, and I'm really concerned about the world that they're going to be growing up in, the world they are growing up in. And so, when I first started saying that, when you're talking about storytelling, I've been telling my story for quite a while. And it was always, off in the future, my grandchildren and being concerned. But oh my gosh, just in the last couple of years, it's just so present in everything that I anyway, you understand. Today we're in over 100-degree down in Florida, and we haven't seen that in quite a while. So I'm just doing what I can to make the connections with the right people to tell a story that I've been dreaming up for 30 years. And it's basically the same story as it was way back when. And it came into focus through a children's musical play in 1999. And it was, we've done plays and musicals and skits and this and that for years. And it's always basically the same story. And we're just working toward a peaceful world where everybody gets along, and here we grow. And so we're sowing a culture of peace for the earth, our home. And so we are using the Earth Charter as a guide. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
And I'm in very close touch with Earth Charter International at the University for Peace in Costa Rica. we are looking at, they have the 20th anniversary of the Earth Charter in June of 2020. And so
Mm,
how we can support that and get the Earth Charter as just kind of everybody knows about the Earth Charter, you know?
yeah.
And so that's what I've been doing for 20 years is building a program around the Earth Charter. And it just never seemed to be what people needed until now. All of a sudden, it's time. It's definitely time. So that's why I say to have you come at this moment, as I'm just beginning this process with the Pachamama Writers Group and the Pachamama Drawdown for children. Do you know Drawdown?
Yeah.
And so it's all coming together the way I always knew it would one day. And
Mm,
here it is.
persistence.
Yeah. So you mentioned my dear friend Shannon Crossbear. And so I met her through the We team, we call it. And it's with We the World, um, which they call the network of networks in the movement of movements for a world that works for all. And that's
Mm,
soothing to me to know that everybody's coming together and we can finally begin to see ourselves as one human family, one earth community with a common destiny, in the words of the Earth Charter. So that's that's what's happening. Shannon Crossbear is a storyteller, and she has a little um, a storytelling wagon. It's a gypsy wagon that she made or had made, was part of the building of, and took me on a tour on Zoom. So I've got a recording of it, and we're ready to go on the road to 2020 in her storytelling wagon. So I'd love to hear more about your storytelling and sharing climate stories. Tell us, and please let me know about how many kids you're working with. What is the scope and what's going on in Minnesota?
yeah. Yeah. Well, I love stories as a basis to connect, to just remember that we all have a connection to the earth. We all have a connection to humanity, and yeah, just start from the heart. Start from like where we personally, our own past experiences and uh, community, whatever it is that weaves into our story, how that is the ground from where we start. Um, I so I the scope of our work with youth in Minnesota is that we support a network of, there's, I don't know, like 500 youth in our like that get emails across Minnesota. We have gatherings, both virtual and in person, and over a school year, we have a lobby day, and about 200 youth come up to that. But our regular gatherings is more like 15 to 30 youth who are regularly like showing up as dedicated leaders. But people engage at different levels. So we, what I love about the moment that we're in right now is that there's a lot of visible leadership from teenagers, which just makes room for more teenagers to feel like they have a place and like they will actually be listened to if they speak up or take action. So Minnesota is a really buzzing hub of teen climate leaders. So some of the people who lead the U.S. climate strikes and Fridays for Future are in Minnesota, and there's lots of other less in the public eye teenage leaders.
That's so wonderful. Thank you for doing what you do.
Yeah.
Are you on the road a lot then?
Yeah, somewhat. I don't have a car, so my coworkers are often more on the road than me.
Okay.
But yeah,
So the tools, I like to think of the tools and resources that we have to offer young people. And actually, I'm getting ready on Friday to establish the Florida chapter of Elders Climate Action. And so we've got,
so cool.
do you know the Elders Climate?
No, I don't.
Oh, it's a wonderful organization and it's national. And there are, I think, three state chapters, and I've been dying to get one started.
Mm,
Like again, here, just all of a sudden in the last week or two, the energy is there. And so we've got a meeting planned for Friday, and it's just getting more and more exciting to think about doing this. This group for years has gone to Washington once a year. Talk to all of the congressmen. And one of my very favorite thing, I've never been on that trip, but from I watch from afar. And what I loved the most about their visit to Washington, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, is a flash mob they did.
oh, cool.
Sing for the Climate. Do you know that song?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Do, 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 do. So they got out there and they were at Union Station, the big train station.
Yeah.
And they had people singing and dancing for the climate. And I've had young people in my city go to the Earth Day at the Florida Museum of Natural History, and they did their flash mob. And so this is one thing that I think elders and youth can really get into doing together, just a chance to be silly, make some noise, and attract some attention. Have some
Yes.
fun. Yeah.
Yes, I
Oh,
love it.
that's a dream of mine.
Yeah,
So,
that's so good.
I,
One of my friends and I used to dream about making an anti-racist clown troupe to go make mischief and help people like learn about ending white supremacy.
and just take the
Pulling at my
serious,
heartstrings.
take the serious. Oh, we've got a problem, and just play with the solutions. I think
Right.
that's the real trick to all of this.
Yeah, yeah.
Making it fun, engaging. That was a conversation we had with the Pachamama group this morning. Is just playing games and having fun, singing, dancing. We got to build all that in. It's not just gloom and doom.
Yeah.
It's wonderful opportunities for all of us. So
Yes. Yes, indeed.
that's the joy. Okay, so here's another resource I would like to pass on, and what I'll do is just send you an email with all of these. Another one is called Peace First.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that one?
No.
Okay, Peace First is a group that does projects, provides resources and tools for the kids to do their own projects, and it's ages 13 to 24. And, they've got their curriculum and helping to identify injustice in your community. And then, narrowing it down, getting your action plan together, and using digital mentors that are available. And I've been trained as a digital mentor, and my hope is to train a lot of elders climate action folks to do well, so that we can be of support to the young people. But the other really neat thing they have is $250 mini grants. Because so often you've got kids who have good ideas, but it's going to take a little bit of money to do it. And so
Yeah.
well. But no longer. Now we've got the money. So
So cool.
uh,
That's great.
that's peacefirst.org. And yeah, So we've got just lots and lots of resources to offer. And basically, what we'd like to do is just kind of get behind you guys, let you do the leading, and when we have something to offer, let us just say, here, do you want, would this be helpful? You know,
Mm,
and because so many of us have been working on these issues for a lifetime, right?
yes. Yeah.
We've learned a lot.
Yeah.
Able to get out and do it so much anymore. So
Yeah.
to work as a team of young people with the elders is my vision for a really good gift I can leave for my grandchildren.
Mm, beautiful, Sue. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for building it and for reaching out.
Yeah. So I guess the next step would be to I will send you an email with these resources and maybe a couple more. And
Great.
and I will send um, the story that we just started last night um, with the Pachamama Writers Group. And I've offered it to this education group, but I think it's too much for them right now, and that's fine. I've also offered it to the We team. So Shannon Crossbear is saying, yes, I want to play this. I think she talked about mud pies and mud puddles and playing with it. You know,
Nice.
you're gonna love her when you meet. So I'll send an introduction to her.
Oh, wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you.
And so the name of the story is Finding Our Place in the Space Between Two Stories.
Mm,
12 emails. You get one a day. And it's just a way of really taking a look at where we are, what we want to let go of, and what we want to take with us as we move into the future.
mm.
It's good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
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 Perfect.
Well, Jason, what a treat to meet.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much, Sue. Thanks for putting this out in the world and finding me.
Yeah. So we'll see. We're on the road to 2020. So the big milestone is Earth Day's 50th anniversary.
Yeah.
And so we'll see what we can do by then. Okay.
Right on.
All
Beautiful.
right.
All right. Take care. Thank you so much.
And thank you too. Bye bye.
Bye.